Okay, so on this one, what I've done so far is I just used Cam Scanner on my phone to adjust it a bit, and then I pulled it into Photoshop, and I've just started to erase the edges away with a soft brush. And so you can see that here, I can just push those edges away. And so that's my first step in this whole process, is to really clean up all the edges of the drawing and just get rid of that excess. And then once I do that, I can go in and duplicate the layer. So I'll do that in a bit. And by duplicating the layer, it's going to give me just a non-destructive way of working. In case I mess up with the levels, I can always just revert back to that file, to that other layer. So we'll do this. But I don't want to do that yet, because if I don't erase this and then I duplicate it, then I have to erase it again on that next layer. Okay, so we're almost done here cleaning this up. Zoom in a bit and shrink the brush down because it's a soft brush. Because it's a soft brush, if it's too big, it'll just fade out the line work, and I don't want that to happen. So I zoom in and I shrink the brush. It just saves me time from having to switch brushes and find a different one. It's too far there. Another way of doing this would be to use the lasso tool, and then like if I were to lasso something here, and then I can invert it by doing Control-Shift-I and then delete. That deletes everything outside the lasso, but I don't want to do that. That's just another way of accomplishing the same thing I'm doing here. I just don't like to do that because with the lasso tool, if you mess up at all, you kind of have to restart. Whereas this, I can work in strokes. And it makes it more controlled for me. So just right here, and I'll be done. Clean up that edge on this ball here. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with this so far. So now what I like to do is duplicate that layer. Or actually, before I duplicate, I'm going to increase the brush size here and just go around this edge here and really soften that up. It's just so it fades out into white. Alright, now I'll duplicate by hitting Control J. And first thing, I'm going to set this top layer to multiply. And you can see that darkens it up quite a bit. Then what I want to do is on this bottom layer, the original one we were working on, I want to hit Control L, and I'm going to adjust the levels here. Push this over into white, and then push this gray over here. And I don't want it to get grainy like that, so I'm going to just try and find the happy spot there. Something like that. And then here, let's see what that looks like. Okay, so that's the difference. Without that layer on top, you can see how much detail I've lost, but now I've got this on top, so it brings back that detail. But it's a little dark for my taste, so what I'm going to do is lower the opacity of my brush to, I'll just try 40, 43. And I'm just going to do a quick run over this. And you can see it lightens it up a fair bit. And just go over the whole thing really. And I can see how that looks. And that's okay. I like that. I might go a little more. So I'll lower the opacity so I don't erase as much again. And I'll go over it one more time. Really, it's in the toes here. I'm not liking it as much, how dark that is. Alright, I'm pretty happy with that, and that's how I do it. So top layer set to multiply. Without that, you can see there's a big difference here. The bottom layer, without the bottom layer, it looks like that. So the bottom layer is really bringing in the line art, and the top layer is retaining those details.